Hello, homeowner heroes, and welcome to the Stop the Foreclosure podcast and YouTube channel. So hopefully you're seeing us in person if you're on YouTube and listening to us and on the podcast. So I just want to say hello. Tonight or today was with me is Merle. So wave Merle to the people so they can
Hello,
see you and
Joe.
then say hi. And also Cindy's here as well.
Good
So wave
evening. Good
Cindy,
day,
please.
everyone.
And say hello. Good day. So, yes, we are recording this in the evening, but you might be listening to it anytime. So tonight, or really today, in this episode, we want to talk about kind of the process. If you have taken on or looking at taking on, contacting us, doing a home review, like what does that look like? And what are the steps that we're going to take with you, and kind of what do you need to do to prepare for that? So that's what we're going to talk about tonight. Yes, you can see I'm in a different location than usual. Another podcast that we've been doing. I'm actually in Pensacola right now and staying in kind of a short-term rental. So just to kind of explain why my background's changed so much, but eventually they'll get more stable and you'll see me in one place. But I am here for you all. So yes. Okay, so let's just talk about the phone call. You can go onto the website on the stoptoforeclosure.expert website. There's going to be a couple places where you can say, yeah, for like a home review. And that essentially gets you a 30-minute conversation with one of us. So it could be myself, it could be Merle, could be Cindy, could be Crystal, could be KK. There's a few more of us that might be available for you to talk to. And our goal is to kind of gather the information and not really give you an opinion, but tell you, look, if we were in your situation, this is what we would do. And part of that is, loan modification. We're probably always going to recommend getting loan modification unless you're just really done with this. If you have no desire to do anything, we understand. Been in foreclosure, know how rough it can be. It's even tough to read sentences and paragraphs at times. It's because you're in such overwhelmed. So I completely get that. If you don't want to do a loan modification, but I typically recommend it just because it is a good way to be engaged and helps kind of almost no matter what direction you're going into, unless you're going to sell the house outright, or if you need to do a short sale, then it probably does not make sense to do a loan modification. Okay, so with that being said, you call us up. I'm going to I'm going to share actually the document that we would be working with so that, let's see, so share. So this is the document that we would pull up, and you would also probably received this in the email so that you can go through this document with us and you can kind of see what we're looking at. I want to get your name, obviously, a phone number to contact you, the property address, the bed and the bath, the square feet, an email. Okay, so that we can just ask questions if we need to, or be in contact, or send over documents, whatever we need to do. Emails, the easiest way to contact each other. So the Z estimate, everyone pretty much knows what Zillow is. If you haven't used it, go check out Zillow.com. So the Z estimate is roughly how much the house is worth. It can be off at times. We do have to be kind of cognizant of that, but it's a starting place. And we will do some more due diligence to make sure that it's fairly accurate what's going on in your area for your particular property. Well, we also want to kind of see the range of what Zillow thinks it's worth. So those numbers go in here. And then there's estimated prep and repair cost. So Zillow kind of does a good job at just estimating how much it would cost for the typical homeowner to get the property in 100% perfect condition. That's what that number really represents. It's also if you're paying, a contractor or really good handyman to come in and fix up the property to get it to 100%. This is what I think they're trying to estimate for you. And I know that I kind of estimated on square footage. Maybe they're doing the same thing. So that's the number I think they came up with. And then we are also going to just ask kind of what is the condition of the property? Is it really good shape? Is it livable? Does it need carpet, paint? Is it something that's a little beyond that? Is there structural issues? Is there a hole in the roof? Is there mold? So all those things could lead to basically doing a short sale. And then the other possibilities, it's on a lake and it's a beautiful property and everything's ready to go. And that presents another set of opportunities. So you just kind of need to know, like what the condition of the property is and what it might need to get to be a livable condition. So estimated closing costs. This is if you were to use a realtor. What you pay typically, and then estimated total selling cost would be the combination of it'd be the estimate minus the repair cost minus the closing cost I'm sorry, this would be the repair cost plus the closing cost would be the selling cost. And then if you take your current mortgage balance and you take the Z estimate and minus these, minus the selling cost and the mortgage balance, you get the estimated net proceeds. Okay. Sometimes this could be positive. Sometimes it could be negative. So, if it's very positive, if it's $50,000 or more in equity and you don't have to do a whole lot of work to it, then maybe your best option is to sell the house at that point in time and walk away with the cash and start over again. I do have this. I have seen where people that stay in the house, even if they have lots of equity, actually eat that equity up pretty quickly. It's almost 2.5 times what they would normally be paying in the mortgage fees would be eaten up if they just stayed in the property and didn't make any payments, because there's late fees, there's penalties, there's attorney fees, everything kind of adds up, and you really don't want to be stuck in that situation where you're eating up your, $50 to $100,000+ in equity just in the fee alone, where you could actually walk away with that cash and giving you, a good starting over or do over money, I would call that. So there's also this little rent. We just want to see what the house will rent for. We know what the HOAs are. Great Zillow sometimes has some of that. Sometimes it's right, sometimes it's wrong. Or if you got more than one HOA in some cases, then we'd like to know that as well. And the property taxes, what the current property taxes are. We can pretty much always look up those online if you're able to know those off the top of your head. But those are some good numbers to have. Really you should collect your, we call it the house paper, right? So anything you got from your previous closing, any second mortgages, third mortgages, the amortization schedules, any of the statements that you had for the monthly payments, that would be very helpful. So like we talked about, the current monthly loan payment. So what would you be paying every month to either the bank or the servicer? We call that the PITI, which is the principal, interest, taxes, and insurance payment. It's going into, with escrowed. So I'd like to know what that number is. And if you could break out what the insurance is every month, right? Would be great to know. And then the taxes per month. If we know if we know what this number is, the PITI number, the total payment you're making, we know what the taxes are, that we can figure out what the insurance is. So it's not very hard to do. Then we also would like to know what seconds and thirds and HELOCs are on the property. There's another opportunity for us to create some equity if we know that there are seconds and thirds on the property. We can work with them to potentially get them taken off the property. And so yeah, we'd like to know what those are ahead of time. And then is there anything else we should know about the property? Like I said, is it on a lake? Is it next to a landfill? Just, what's the condition of the yard? Those sort of things. So if you can just kind of give us a little more description about the property and what's going on about it, and please just be objective about this. We know it's your property and you've been living there and stuff, but like if you had a new fresh set of eyes on the property and you really looked at the property and looked around the property, what would you see? And we would just like to know what that looks like, so we can help understand the situation as much as possible. And then kind of from this, we're just going to tell roughly where you're at in terms of if you've got a lot of equity, or if the property is in really bad shape, or if there's an opportunity to work with us. We're just going to say, we're going to kind of phrase it this way. This is what we would do in your situation. Lots of equity, sell with equity. Take the money and start over again if you can. That might be a great solution if you got that option. The other is working with us on we call it the foreclosure rescue plan, where we come in and use our system, our program basically to stop the foreclosure permanently and get you going with rebuilding the credit, getting you cash in your pocket, getting monthly cash flow, building a wealth, generational wealth and financial stability. That's what this program is designed for. Okay. That's really my vision, is to help you homeowner heroes get some financial stability, intergenerational financial stability and wealth. So that's what's possible in this program in a lot of cases, not in all, but in a lot of cases. You might also end up renting the property yourself. Short-term rentals turn into an Airbnb, turn into HomePad, or maybe do long-term rentals. Maybe you figure out a way to come up with enough money to stop, to reinstate the mortgage, or you just rent it out and do your thing. So that's a possibility, and we can. That's something, a choice that you have, and maybe that will work, and you can keep the property in your, and get it back. That would be great. We are going to, support you on that, if that's your decision. So, the other might be just a short sale. That unfortunately, the property has got a hole in the roof, or mold, or the foundations, cracked, or things have shifted, like then maybe the short sale is the way to go. There's just no room, or it's just so far below, the value is so far below where you are on the mortgage. But maybe the short sale is the only way really to get the house sold and the foreclosure stopped. And then there are realtors that we can recommend you to. And we know that they are going to do the best they can for you in terms of making sure you don't have a deficiency judgment, making sure you don't have taxes if it is, short. So there's two important things to always look for in a short sale with a realtor. Plus, you also just want someone that's done, been experienced with it, because typically these things take anywhere between 4 to 9 months to get done. And you just want a realtor that's had experience. You don't want a brand newbie. So even if your best friend is a realtor and they've never done a short sale before, it'd be a bit overwhelming. Maybe you can partner with someone who's done a short sale, partner with people we know. So just also kind of helps us out, I'll be honest. So if you sell your property, either way, for equity or as a short sale, we can make the recommendation. That just funds this a little bit more and makes us able to get the more, help more people, or homeowner heroes. So it's just that, and then we always ask that if and when you ever decide to sell your property, that you just contact us and let us help you find a realtor if that's the route you want to go. It doesn't cost you anything, and it can potentially help people in the future. So there might be another, you just never know. All the situations are going to show up. So there might be another that we come up with that says, oh, in your situation, we might do this. So just want to leave that possibility open. And then we do want to set up another another meeting. So a date and a time to get back to you and say, okay, this is, if you were to work with us, this is the amount that in cash that you would get. This is the monthly payments you can get. These are kind of the options that we're looking at and how it would all work. So that's why we always want to schedule another meeting. So this is kind of the process and this document. Okay. So, yes, just want to say thank you for joining us tonight. I know that Burley and Cindy, do you all have anything to say about the process, or, what's your kind of take on it? Yes, just helping people in general.
I think that there's a lot of people that go into foreclosure that have no idea really what to do. And so this worksheet, is which is why we do it, so that we can sit down and give you some options and see what's the best way for you to go.
Yeah, because really there are 13 different options you can take while in foreclosure as a homeowner. So that's one of the reasons why we use that spreadsheet, and it gives us a little bit of time to look over, what your situation is. And here, let me just go over the 13 pretty quickly. So the first one is if you're a service member, if you're an active member in the military, Coast Guard, there's some rules. Like if you're just a part of the government, you should definitely look into this. The Service Member Civil Relief Act is what it's called. The next is reinstatement. So if it's possible just to reinstate the mortgage, maybe you are getting a big lump sum of money from somewhere and you can save it before it goes to sale, then that's an option, is reinstatement, which is a great thing. You can get to save your home. Awesome. The next one is loan modification. So we do have a course that you can take. That's on stoptheforeclosure.expert. And Cindy is nice enough to be putting that together and keeping it up to date and learning from it. So it's got the latest and greatest information for you all. So check that out. It is free and it is pretty comprehensive, for sure. When you say Cindy, like the first
Yes,
time you
there
saw it,
is.
like there's a lot in there, isn't there? So, all right, fantastic. The next is forbearance. It's a form of loan modification, but it's essentially where they take the whatever you're late with and they stick it on the end of the loan. It does create a bit of an issue if you stay in the house long enough, but that is definitely one possibility. The other is renting. So if you decide to rent the house yourself, if that's a way to get make payments or to get the mortgage caught up, fantastic. There's also a reverse mortgage. So if you're kind of in a situation where you're old enough and that you're not interested in, you can live in the house until you die essentially, and you don't have to worry about foreclosure anymore. That's a possibility. Strategic bankruptcy. Bankruptcy is kind of a touchy subject, so there's a lot of things involved with the bankruptcy. Please do your homework. Please make sure you understand that. But there is one or two, there is a case where a bankruptcy makes sense to do. And that's one of the chapters. It's one of the podcasts that we do. And it's also one of the blogs about strategic bankruptcy. There's plenty of places to find out where we fight the bank. Been there, done that. Took on 24 properties with 70 some lawsuits. So very familiar with fighting the bank. It is an option. It is not for the faint of heart. Godspeed to you if you decide to go take that route. Redemption. So redemption is after the foreclosure. If you come into money, there's certain states like Kansas where you can actually buy back your house. So that is another option. It doesn't really stop the foreclosure, but it is a way of getting the property back if it's meaningful for you. The next is turn your house into cash. That is kind of where we come in. We call it the Stop the Foreclosure Program. Probably gonna update that title a little bit to reflect what we're up to, but we call it Working with Compassionate Investors. You can learn more about that if your house qualifies. Sell your property solution. So this is if you have equity in the property, is you can sell it and take the equity out before the banks and the attorneys and everyone else gets part of your equity. So, right, might be a good situation or good opportunity if you have a fair amount of equity. Deed low foreclosure. So if you're just done, you could actually contact the bank and say, or the servicer and say, hey, I'm just going to sign the more of the deed back to you all, and we're just going to call it good. And then the last one I affectionately call the head in the stands program. So it's walking away, or strategic default was the kind of what that one's called. And that's just where you just don't do anything, even though you might have some other opportunities. You just choose not to deal with it. I respect that, honestly. Like, totally get that, but you might lose some opportunities that we can provide for you, because there are things out there that not everyone knows about, and if you can take advantage of it, you might want to. So, okay, well, I just want to make sure that we kind of went over the 13. Like, if this is the only video you watch or podcast you hear, at least you've gotten a glimpse of it. You can go onto the Stop the Foreclosure expert. It's not .com, but .expert to find out more and to learn more about us. And There's also the book is on Amazon.com if you want to go there. It's Secrets to Keeping Secrets to Keeping My Home. Stop Foreclosure and Get On with Your Life by Robert Bernard. So that's available for you as well, or you can keep listening to the podcast on YouTube.
Robert, don't you have a
Thank you
link
for joining
to
us.
Amazon for your book
Yep.
on the website?
It's on the website. So if you want to purchase the book, you can go to the website, stoptheforeclosure.expert, and purchase the book from there. So it all helps with us reaching out to more homeowners. So, all right. Well, you are the homeowner heroes. We're thinking about you. We're praying for you. We just hope the best for you. And if you just want any assistance or just someone to talk to, reach out to us on the website, stoptheforeclosure.expert, and we'll be in touch.
Night.
All right. Take care,
Bye.
y'all. Bye-bye.